So yesterday you developed the equation or formula known as Pythagorean's theorem, and today we're going to use Pythagorean's theorem again to determine if a triangle really is a right triangle or not. So Pythagorean's theorem can be used to determine if a triangle is a right triangle or not by substituting the measurements of the legs and hypotenuse into the theorem and checking to make sure it works. If the values satisfy the formula, the triangle has to be right. If not, it's not. Use Pythagorean theorem to determine if the given triangles are right triangles. So again, yesterday we came up with the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the legs and c is the hypotenuse. So if the lengths of any side of a triangle fulfill the requirements of Pythagorean theorem, then that triangle is a right triangle. So let's take a look at number one. For number one, we have 9, 12, and 15. Now, remember, if you're not sure which one is the hypotenuse, it's always the longer of the three sides. So in this case, this looks like it's a right angle, but we're going to prove whether it really is or isn't by doing 9 squared plus 12 squared equals 15 squared. 9 squared is 9 times 9, which is 81. 12 squared is 12 times 12, which is 144. And 15 squared is 15 times 15, which is 225. If I add 81 and 144, 1 plus 4 is 5. 8 plus 4 is 12, carry the 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2, so we have 225 equals 225. Therefore, this is a right triangle. For number two, again, using that same method, we're going to substitute in the shorter lengths for A and B and the longer length for C. So we have 3.5 and 4.2 being the legs and 4.5 being the hypotenuse. So 3.5 squared plus 4.2 squared equals 4.5 squared. Now these ones I can't do as quickly in my head, so I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator. And we have 3.5 times 3.5, which is 12 and a quarter, plus 4.2 times 4.2, or 4.2 squared, which is 17.64. And 4.5 times 4.5, or 4.5 squared, which is 20 and a quarter. Add those up. 4 plus 5 makes 9. 6 plus 2 is 8. 7 plus 2 is 9 again, bringing over our decimal. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So we get 29.89, which does not equal 20 and a quarter. So this is not a right triangle. So you're going to try the next few on your own using these two as examples. You can pause the video here or watch the examples on the back and then come back to this side afterwards. Okay, so now on the back we have lengths that are given as the side lengths of the triangle, not in a diagram form. And we're going to figure out if those will also make right triangles. So for number 5, we're always going to treat it as if it's in order, A, B, C, for Pythagorean's theorem. I'm going to do 5, 6, 7, and 8 with you, and then you're going to try the last 4 on your own. So for number 5, we do 3 squared plus 8 squared equals the square root of 73 all squared. And that looks tricky, but it's actually very easy. 3 squared is 9. 8 squared is 64. And the square root of 73 squared, if you think about it, square root and square is the opposite. So they just cancel out, and we just get 73. And then 9 plus 64 is 73. 73 equals 73. So these will form a right triangle. Okay, number 6, similarly, we have 9 squared plus 9 squared equals 5 square root 7 all squared. So that's 81 plus 81 equals, now in this case we have to do it a little bit step by step. We're going to square the 5. 5 squared is 25. And then square root 7 all squared just cancels out the square root and the square, giving me 25 times 7. Then 81 plus 81 is 162. And 25 times 7 is 175. So these sides will not make a right triangle. Okay, so I'm going to continue with 7 and 8 to just give you a little bit more practice and making sure you understand how to square something with the radical, and then you're going to try the last 4 on your own. So for number 7, we have 2 square root 7. Again, this is going to be our A, this is going to be our B, this is going to be our C. So we have 2 square root 7 all squared plus 6 squared equals 8 squared. Again, looking to see if those sides will make a right triangle. 2 squared makes 4. Square root 7 squared is 7 plus 6 squared is 36 equals 8 squared, which is 64. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 36 equals 64. Adding those up, 6 and 3 make 14, carry the 1. 4 and 2 make 6. 64 does equal 64, so these sides will make a right triangle. Okay, here's your last shot to get it with me, number 8. Again, square root of 3 squared plus 9 squared equals the square root of 84 squared. Again, the square root and the square cancel out because they're inverse operations. So this is just 3 plus 9 squared is 81 equals, again, square root and square cancel out, 84. So 3 plus 81 is definitely 84, and 84 equals 84. So once again, these sides will make a right triangle. So you are now on your own for the rest of today's notes. I'll be around to help you out. Good luck.